right, man, let's talk about Jared Goff. You want to be the boss? You got to pay the cost. So, is there a reason for concern about Jared Goff after the Texans game? Talk about it. Check out the Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. You know, in my humble opinion, no. But I do have a concern. You know, I find it funny. He was playing really, really well, and then you had this ankle injury come up, and then all of a sudden, you know, there started to, you know, be some drop off in his performance. Nobody talk about that. Hurt his ankle in the Titans game, rolled it in practice, so that may be some cause for concern right there, because that ankle injury correlates with what? With his performance. You know, his performance. So his bad performance and 5 interceptions. So, you know, he said he didn't feel like he threw the ball bad. But you got to remember, it's hard to sustain a hot start throughout the season. You got to be playing your best ball rolling into January. You know, right around that December, middle December, late December is where you kind of want to start to hit your peak. You know what I'm saying? You want to start to get healthy. You want to start to, you know, play good ball. You got to remember, the first few weeks, the Lions' offense was terrible. Defense has been pretty good all year, to be honest. You know, other than the penalties on the back end. But last year we went through a point with Jared Goff, the same thing. You know, they had a slow start offensively last year because they didn't play preseason. That's one of the downsides of not playing preseason. Then they was hot for a minute, and then he hit that patch right around that Green Bay loss and that Chicago loss. They hit a slow patch, they fixed it. Going until the playoffs, they were hot. Now, what people got to understand too, it's a long season. It's a long season, so physically, it's like you made a playoff run last year to the NFC Championship game, so you beat up. You're literally beat up. So through the seasons is just like through your work day or your school year. You're gonna have your good days, you're gonna have your bad days, you're gonna have your rough patches, you're gonna have your good patches. That's just the way it is. So physically, they're gonna have up and down. It's kind of like if you work out, or if you run sprints, or you run a marathon, cross country, or you almost finish with something. You know, when you like, bam, I got a quarter mile to go. You know what I'm saying? Your body suddenly get this boost of energy. You ever watch boxing? You know, MMA, they hit the mat. It's like 15 or 10 seconds left, and all of a sudden, the boxer who ain't did shit all around start throwing a whole bunch of combinations. You like, damn, he had that energy the whole time. That's that adrenaline you get at the end of the season going into the playoffs, because, you know, it goes to a different level, you know. And when you kind of in the season, it's kind of like, the Jaguars, the Titans, no disrespect. The Texans is a big game, but it's an emotional roller coaster throughout the season. Certain fighters and football players, they get up for certain battles, and sometimes they let certain battles load them to sleep. So to be honest, Goff is gonna have it sketchy. You want to get that sketchy shit out the way. First quarter of the season was pretty sketchy and slow. You know, he had a nice little run for the next kind of quarter of the season. Now he might hit a rough patch, but I think it had a lot to do with the injuries, with the ankle. But go ahead, let him have it. Let him have his rough patch right now, and he figure it out. And you know, they figure it out from there, and they keep it moving. So hopefully they really playing some great football going until that January phase. And defensively, you know, that back end should start to really come together. They're gonna throw some few ingredients in there when they get a few guys back, but you know, they should gel on the back end a lot better. And you started to see it. I said around the 8-9 game mark, you was going to start to see it come together. Now you might really start to see it really start to really manifest. You know, so it's looking pretty good. But, you know, I'm not really worried about Goff. You know, hopefully the ankle, I'm more concerned about the ankle. You know, but right now, they'll make the adjustments. They'll see what went wrong. And you got to also credit the Houston Texans. They had 10 days to prepare for the Lions. It was a big game. They didn't want to get in. They didn't want to get embarrassed. So, yeah, when you got 10 days to, you know, to perform, to study somebody, they came out. But credit to the Lions coaching regime, because this ain't something that we usually see. They were able to come out there and make an adjustment at halftime. Defense made an adjustment. Ben Johnson made some adjustments for the offense. Aaron Glenn for the defense. And now you sitting there like, that's what great teams do. The Texans did 10 days worth of studying on the Lions, and they didn't have an answer for the Lions in the second half on either side of the ball. So that's something that we're not used to in Detroit. We used to coming back, it's on some, we about to lose, and the other team don't know how to play with the lead, or they start, getting cued, and then we just kind of sneak back and come back and steal the game at the end. That's kind of the way it goes. But more concerned about the ankle, if anything, because the ankle injury correlates with the drop-off in performance. And also, I'm kind of worried, that next receiver ain't really stepped up. I was looking for Robinson, or especially Tim Patrick, to make that next step. But Sam Laporta injured his shoulder, but he was starting to kind of get more involved. And I think you're starting to see them kind of roll more coverage to St. Brown, roll more coverage to J-Mo, give more attention to the back end of that defense. That back end, give more attention to the backfield of the offense. And they trying to really okay, let's stop the run. Let's stop the run first and foremost. And, they got to find a way to get Tim Patrick or Allen Robinson more involved in his offense, because they're going to need him. Even with Laporta, if he keep going and, getting it together, they're going to need Tim Patrick to really step it up, or Allen Robinson. And Khalif to keep doing what he's doing, and J-Mo kind of get back in rhythm. But, J-Mo made some great catches the other day. It just seemed like Goff just didn't have that zip on his arm. And I think that probably has somewhat to do with the ankle injury. But they play Jacksonville this week. I'll do a prediction video probably before you see this video. But, with Jacksonville, they play, I didn't see the highlights or watch the game. They played Minnesota pretty close. And, Jacksonville has a really good team. It might sound, and I'm saying this every week, and people say, oh, man, I'm telling you, when you look at the talent of the Tennessee Titans, they were a quarterback away. Houston, they got a really good team. Jacksonville has a really, really good team. I'm telling you, I don't know. That first half of that season where they was 0-5 or 1-5 or whatever, 0-4. Dude, they was losing games just they should have beat Miami, matter of fact. They lost that game because NTN fumbled on the damn goal line. There was a lot of games they should have really realistically been 4-0 and 5-0. Realistically, they're a good football team. I think the morale is going down, but Brian Thomas Jr. You look at that defense: Josh Hines Allen, Trayvon Walker. They got talent. It's just, I don't know. I really don't know, but they going their way. But it's a talented football team, so I think the morale has just got so bad for them. It's we ready for the offseason. But when you talking about talent, like I said about Green Bay, a bunch of talent across the board. So these are some talented football teams the Lions beat. But I think the difference is the Lions got talent, they got grit, and they got coaching. And I think a lot of the teams Tennessee's just missing a quarterback. I don't really know about the coach so much. Jacksonville is functional right now. That's all I can really say. But talented football team. I'm telling you. Look at that roster. But hey, check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Hit the link tree. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love.